Washington Grown is brought to you by the potato farmers of Washington. Learn why Washington is home to the world's most productive potato fields and farmers by visiting potatoes.com. Also brought to you by the Washington State Department of Agriculture's Specialty Crop Block Grant Program and the Washington Hospitality Association.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy Goranson and welcome to Washington Grown. Living in Washington, we are so lucky to have an abundance of locally grown food. And farmers markets are a great place to pick up a few items, maybe meet a few friendly faces. But how does it all come together? This week in Washington Grown, we're going to show you how a vacant space turns into your favorite local farmers market.
We will visit Lulu Craft Bar and Kitchen, where we're making a fresh and local roasted carrot appetizer.
It's beautiful and fresh and healthy.
Then we'll take a peek inside the Kittitas Valley Greenhouse, where farming indoors makes it possible to find tomatoes at your farmer's market all season long.
You have to be very gentle with these tomatoes.
And onions are a popular market item, but have you had an all-onion sandwich? We'll head to the streets to see what people think. All this and more today on Washington Grown.
Look at that! Good job!
Oh, look at those beautiful carrots.
You gotta go fast. Hot diggity.
How good is that one?
いただきます。
Today, I'm at Lulu Craft Bar and Kitchen in Richland, where local farm girl Cindy Goulet is bringing her own personal touch of farm to table, using her farm-raised beef along with locally grown vegetables to create some unique and delicious dishes.
The Lulu white salad is awesome. It's a great salad.
My favorite would be the grilled cheese and tomato soup. I feel like that is just like a classic standby. It's just ooey gooey and melty, and you dip it in and it's delicious.
So I really love Lulu's because Lulu's offers farm to table, and I think that's really important, knowing where you're getting your produce. We live in a really heavy agriculture area, and I want to spend my money where local farmers are producing my food and bringing it to my table.
Owner and chef Cindy grew up in this area and knows firsthand about the fresh abundance of meat and produce found here.
I grew up north of Tri-Cities on a farm. Went to WSU. My whole family still lives around here, so I really wanted to somehow tie that into our restaurant.
What are some of the favorite dishes here at Lulu's?
And the roasted carrots is a popular dish. Some of the appetizers that we make, we do a pimento cheese spread that's very unique and interesting. We do some really great salads. So we do it's called a Lulu White, and it's all white vegetables, and so that's a very unique with a white balsamic vinaigrette, and so that's a really unique, interesting dish as well.
Later in the show, Cindy is going to teach me how to make their popular roasted carrot appetizer.
That's beautiful and fresh and healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know why I sound surprised. It's healthy.
Sometimes it's hard in the restaurant, right?
We always see farming outdoors, but this time we get to see what it's like to farm indoors at a greenhouse near Ellensburg. Greenhouses throughout Washington state keep homes and restaurants filled with vegetables that we otherwise wouldn't have locally. Rich and Mary Ness of Kittitas Valley Greenhouse specialize in growing heirloom and modern tomatoes nearly year-round.
Here we are. This is our starter greenhouse.
Here.
Rich is a retired engineer, and he designed the greenhouses to operate at peak performance.
What made you decide to do greenhouses?
Well, I wanted something to do in the winter time because our winters here are so cooped up, and I like being outside. So I said, well, greenhouse, winter, why not? Yeah. And then I sort of love tomatoes anyway. So I wanted to grow a tomato that people actually like.
Look at how big these are right there.
Rich grows his tomatoes using water from a nearby spring, and he grows them without using pesticides.
So, Rich, do you have problems in a greenhouse setting, like with pests, and how do you deal with that?
Well, right now, aphids seem to be our only pests, and ladybugs have been doing a good job. I get those at a local store.
Rich says the biggest difference between raising a crop inside a greenhouse versus outside in a field is control.
You got a lot more control over what's going on here, but things happen very fast in this environment. Another good reason that we grow in the greenhouse is that we can at least have 30 weeks of production a year. And sometimes, you can go to 34.
How many tomato plants do you have in these greenhouses?
Well, this one has close to like 380.
Wow.
And there's another, say, 2,500 in the other greenhouse.
Some of Rich's tomatoes will grow more than 30 feet tall, which takes some practical engineering to accommodate the growth.
Okay, this is how we lower our tomatoes. Everybody wants to know how we grow them 30 feet long. So we might have to lower these every 2 weeks. What we call is lean and lower, because if you just lower, you could break the stem down there. So what we want to do is lean it first and unwind it, and then we rehang it. It's got to be rehung a fair distance away.
And it can get...
And these will grow a foot a week.
Foot a week?
Foot a week.
Wow.
With roughly 40 different varieties, the tomatoes ripen at different times, and there's a gentle art to picking.
So hold it like from the bottom?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, we don't want to grab it and
So
mark it. It'll mark it. Vine ripen, very delicate.
And then, like this? Am I holding it right?
Yeah. Just get right in without, there you go.
Is that okay?
That's perfect.
To be very gentle with these tomatoes.
The tomatoes are then kept in a cooler so they can ripen evenly.
These heirloom varieties will ripen uniformly at a lower temperature.
That's a pretty tomato.
Yeah.
Later in the show, we'll see some of Rich's tomatoes at the Columbia City Farmers Market in Seattle.
Most of us associate the tomato with our favorite Italian dish, but the tomato actually originated in Central and South America and only spread to Europe in the 1500s with the Spanish colonization of the Americas. While tomatoes are technically a fruit, they are treated as a vegetable by the culinary world and can be consumed raw in salads or drinks. They can also be made into sauces, soups, ketchup, or my personal favorite, salsa. Nutritionally, tomatoes are a great source of potassium, which is important for helping us maintain a good blood pressure and proper kidney function. The bright red color of tomatoes is due to lycopene, a type of antioxidant that helps keep our cells happy and healthy. In fact, the last decade has seen an explosion of research into the potential health benefits of lycopene, but the debate is still ongoing. Although Washington has a cooler climate, our farmers are able to extend their growing season with the help of greenhouses, so we can enjoy local tomatoes all year round. So the next time you're at your farmer's market, keep an eye out for cherry, Roma, heirloom, and beefsteak tomatoes, as they are all great choices to share with your family, friends, and neighbors.
Coming up, we're in the Lulu kitchen making a colorful roasted carrot appetizer.
That's beautiful and fresh and healthy.
We're back in Richland at Lulu Craft Bar and Kitchen, where they're serving up some delicious farm-to-table dishes.
We live in Pasco, and this is one of our favorite spots.
Great meeting place to come after work or in the middle of the day for a nice lunch.
Chef and owner Cindy Goulet says that an important part of the restaurant is to work with farmers and farmers markets to incorporate fresh and locally grown products as much as possible.
You know, this is such a huge agricultural area, and so to really shine a light on it, to really let them know what is grown in this area.
What are you and I gonna make?
So we're gonna make roasted carrots with a harissa sauce. It's got some Greek yogurt on it, and then it's got some roasted garbanzo beans.
So what do we need to do first?
So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with making the harissa sauce. So harissa is an African spice, and so what we do is we roast peppers, and you can roast them on the stove here.
After the pepper is roasted, we peel the skin off and take the seeds out.
Get it all black, and then
you take the black
take it
off.
off.
And then what you would do is you would just give them a quick rinse, and that kind of gets all the rest of the black off of there.
You grew up on a farm.
I grew up on a farm. I grew up in North Franklin County, so about 30 miles north of Tri-Cities. My parents still live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you grow?
So when we were growing up, we grew sugar beets, which they don't actually grow sugar beets anymore.
Okay.
Lots of corn and wheat and potatoes.
You use stuff from your family farm in the restaurant?
We do. So we use all the potatoes, all the onions, all the beef, and most of the pork come from Easter
Awesome
Day
to
farms.
have that source and being so family connected, you know.
The next step is to blend the pepper with some olive oil and harissa spice. Then it's time to start working on the carrots. I start peeling while Cindy begins to roast some on the stove.
When our chickpeas are boiled, and then we're going to take them and we're going to put them on a pan like this. Again, add a little bit of oil. And we can put these in the oven here.
Awesome.
So when they're done, they're going to come out and look nice and crispy.
I'm going to try one.
Yeah. Great crunch. Great texture.
After I finish slicing my carrots, we splash them with some olive oil and throw them in the oven to crisp up.
Look at that.
And
how fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try one of these
too.
That's a cool texture.
Nice and crispy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're ready to plate.
Okay. This is one of my favorite parts because it means that we're close to trying it.
Yes.
To plate, we first lay down some Greek yogurt and top it with the harissa sauce.
So then we're going to lay the carrots on there.
Then we finish it with our crispy carrots, some crispy chickpeas, and some fresh mint.
That's beautiful and fresh and healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know why I sound surprised. It's healthy.
Sometimes it's hard in the restaurant, right?
Awesome. That is beautiful. Okay, so do we get to give it a
We
try?
get to taste it. Yeah.
A little bit of everything here. That is good. I love the chickpeas that are crunchy. And then the yogurt is a little bit warm from the roasted carrots, and it's nice and creamy. Yum. Awesome. Thank you so much,
You're
Cindy.
welcome.
This is great. I'm going to eat some more.
To get the recipe for Lulu's roasted carrots with harissa sauce, head over to wagrown.com. Leek, shallot, green onions. They're all part of the allium family of vegetables, and the leek is one of those plants that most people don't know what to do with in the kitchen. I'm meeting with leek grower Tim Terpstra to learn what makes the leek a perfect crop in the Skagit Valley.
You know, we grow what grows well here. This is a good kind of cool, wet marine climate. It's a slow-growing crop, and they can overwinter here. You know, they're tolerant to pretty cool temperature. Yeah, so Washington leeks, this is just a good climate.
Yeah.
Leeks are an excellent source of vitamin K, and after a quick tutorial, I took a turn at harvesting.
Right out.
Baby.
Oh, see? Skilled work, farm labor.
Sorry.
And it should just pop right out. Don't worry about crushing the leaves. There you go. Good.
Did it that time. I didn't ruin anything.
Later, I talked with Tim about some of his challenges as a farmer in the Skagit Valley.
One of the reasons that we grow leeks is because they don't have a lot of pest and disease problems. There are little things, they get thrips, but we haven't really seen much problem with that. It's meaningful work, you know. I mean, people have to eat. We're growing healthy food. We're growing it what we think is the best way to grow it, organically, and we have really good people that work with us on the farm.
Tim says they work hard to find a balance between irrigating their farm while also protecting the salmon and water resources.
We do a lot of irrigating here in the Skagit. We have, of course, on our pump that's taking water out of the river, we have got a big kind of screen on it so that we're not sucking up any salmon or anything like that. We try to be responsible with our timing, so we try to just put on the amount of water we need and nothing else.
To better understand some of the conservation challenges farmers of the Skagit Valley face, I'm meeting with Brandon Rusin with the Western Washington Agricultural Association to ask him what makes this area so unique.
Really, this is
only a couple places throughout the world can mirror what we have here. We just have a tremendous opportunity to grow a number of different crops.
What other kind of issues do the landowners kind of run into in this area?
In the turn of the late 1800s, mid 1800s, was diked and drained for this, what we see around us. And some folks would like to return that back to its pre-existing condition and restore it to salmon habitat. And of course, our job at my organization is to balance that desire, that need to recover salmon, Chinook salmon, with the needs of our growers and the need to keep an agricultural economy and industry vibrant and well here. It's very easy that this could turn into shopping malls or parking lots or houses and a number of different things. But these folks here are managing this ground and this landscape
for the long term.
For the long term, you betcha. You know, that's truly a tremendous testament to the folks who came before to create this and the ongoing work that's being done to preserve it.
Coming up, we're stopping by the Columbia City Farmers Market.
Well, one of the things you will for sure find at a farmer's market is an onion. I'm here at Un Bien, and it's a Caribbean-style sandwich place, very popular, and one of their most popular sandwiches is called the Onion Obsession. And basically what it is some caramelized onions. It's kind of mixed in with the tapenade, then there's some fresh cilantro, and some jalapenos to give it a kick. And we want to find out what people think of this onion sandwich. So I'm going to go over here and see what they think. Do you eat onions a lot?
Yes.
Do you? What do you like them on?
Everything. Sauteed onions are just kind of the basis of, a lot of the stuff I cook.
Who's this little one here? Emma. Emma. Hi, Emma. Are you going to have an onion obsession sandwich for us today? She's like, no, I'm going to eat the receipt. Well, have a go. Right. Yeah. We should probably get napkins too. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of juicy. So an all onion sandwich, pretty good? Thumbs up?
Very good. You don't have to have meat necessarily with a sandwich.
No. I like it.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. Yeah.
Well, this whole time I've been asking other people to try the Onion Obsession sandwich, and I've been smelling it, and it smells delicious, but I haven't tried it yet. So now it's my turn. All onions. Never had an all onion sandwich, but here we go. It's messy, but it's delicious.
My next stop in Seattle is the popular Columbia City Farmers Market. For close to 20 years, this market has been providing the surrounding neighborhood with a huge variety of Washington-grown products. I met with the executive director, Chris Curtis, to learn about the goals of this market and how it got started.
We're going to have a critical mass of farmers here every week. The majority of the vendors are going to be farmers, and you're going to be able to buy direct from farmers everything that's grown in Washington State. So that was our goal from the beginning, and we've been able to meet that goal every week, every year since then.
Yeah, critical mass. I like that.
A critical mass. No, it was important to us that at least 70% of our vendor base be farmers.
What is the future of farmers markets?
That's a very good question. I think right now Washington State has 150.
Wow.
And I think that over the last 10 years or so, we've seen some come and go. I think when you position a market with as I said, with a good number of farmers, and there's a lot of selection and the quality is high, and you've got a shopper base that can support it, then a farmer's market will succeed.
I asked Chris to explain why farmers markets are vital to an urban community.
It kind of bridges a gap between rural and urban, and an important gap. I mean, customers and farmers get to know each other really well, and they see each other's families grow up. I mean, it's a wonderful connection that happens here at a farmer's market.
What are some of the more popular foods that you have here?
Well, this is still spring, so we're just now starting to see some of the early summer crops come in. Well, this is the first day for cherries and berries, and those are both iconic Washington State crops.
As Chris and I were walking through the market, I spotted someone I knew.
Well, look who I found. This is Dave from Kittitas Valley Greenhouses, and we found your booth here at Columbia City, so you're all set up and ready to go, and it's been pretty busy, I saw earlier.
Oh yeah, we're one of the most popular booths here, I'd say.
I didn't get to try a tomato back at the greenhouses, so can I try one today?
Absolutely.
What would you suggest? So we have some of the smaller ones that I think I would like to try.
Yeah, the cherries are definitely my favorite. Sweet Baby Girl.
This
great
one here?
taste, great name.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I'm gonna try one of those.
There you are. What do you think?
It's so good. Can I try one of these?
Go for it, yeah.
Sun Sugar?
That's the Sun Sugar.
Awesome. Well, thanks and good luck. We'll let you get back to work and
working hard.
see you at the market.
Thanks so much.
Next, I talked with some regular market goers to hear why they like to visit this market.
I always meet people I know, so I like to come down to socialize. And there are certain items that I can only get here.
Really?
I don't make pies, so I can come down if I want pie. And I've seen breads that are to die for. And the vegetables and the fruits are outstanding.
And I've been coming to this farmer's market for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know so many of the farmers here. So it's great because, you know, they're here from May to September, October. Then they're gone for the winter. And so it's like when you come back, it's sort of like seeing your family again.
Yeah.
So it's great. I love it.
From leeks and tomatoes to beer and wine, you can find a variety of local fare at your neighborhood farmers market. And it's a great experience for food lovers, for kids, and for the community. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for watching.